Welcome to GallantFew's Functional Emotional Fitness Coaching. You're embarking on a journey that, if you apply these coaching techniques, will give you the power to take control of your life. Now, before we begin, let's make sure that we're all starting from the same point. Functional Emotional Fitness is a 7-step program which is based on the process of subconscious restructuring, or SR. Therefore, we refer to Functional Emotional Fitness process as SR. The first step of SR is the Functional Emotional Fitness Checklist. Good decisions are never made when you're emotionally distressed. Now, this is why the absolute first step for all coaches or therapists must be to establish a baseline by measuring your emotional state and then continue to monitor it at every session, which is exactly what we'll do here with SR. Approximately 500 million neurons or brain cells line the gut and can have a profound effect on your mood, independent of any past trauma. Now, this is why it's also imperative to measure gut health, which is what we will do here in step 6 of the SR process. After establishing a baseline with the emotional fitness checklist, the primary objective of SR is to teach you how a thought process works from the deepest level of the subconscious. This enables you to fully understand how an emotional state comes about, which in turn will enable you to have control over all of your behavior. We'll also measure gut health, which can have a profound effect on your thought process, emotions, behavior, and a long list of other psychological issues. You'll also learn what your most powerful emotional state is and how to maintain it. This will permit supreme decision making in regard to your personal and professional life and enable you to move as quickly as possible toward your objectives. Now, if someone tries to give you a recommendation or advice based on an emotionally distressed state, the results will be random at best, if not disastrous. Accurate recommendations about your personal or professional life can only occur from information you give in an empowered emotional state. You can only give information from an empowered emotional state if you first measure where you are emotionally right now and you fully understand how thought, emotion, and behavior work and what psychological influencers may be affecting this process. You'll learn with SR that your questions are at the very core of getting what you want or what you don't want. But before I explain what SR is, I need to ask you a couple questions. Are you running your life? Do you really know how thought, emotion, and behavior work? If you don't know how thought, emotion, and behavior work, which ultimately equates to how your subconscious works, you're not running your life. Your life is running you. How can my subconscious mind possibly be running my life? To give you an idea of the power of the subconscious mind, you can speak at a rate of about 200 to 300 words per minute. Now, your subconscious mind runs at a rate of approximately 1,000 to 1,200 words per minute, which is about 4 times faster than you can speak. This is why you can talk on the phone and perform other tasks like typing on the computer or driving a car, because the subconscious mind is already programmed to do those other tasks. You can look at the conscious mind and the subconscious mind like a tug of war, with a vat of mud in the middle for whomever loses. The conscious mind is one person on one side against the subconscious mind, which are like 4 other people on the other side. If the conscious mind decides to move in a different direction, like losing weight, increasing your fitness program, making more money, quitting smoking, or any other number of things, it's usually a losing battle because you're simply outnumbered with information. That's why it's so difficult to attain spontaneous change. Evidence of this is supported by the approximately 98% fail rate for people who don't maintain a desired weight loss plan. The dilemma here is that the subconscious mind is not only running 4 times faster, you also have no idea what it's doing. What is functional emotional fitness and subconscious restructuring, or SR? Functional emotional fitness, or SR, is an empirically sound 7-step process designed to interrupt, restructure, and reprogram one's emotional state and behavior from the nucleus of the subconscious. Is it important to know what's going on in the subconscious mind? The conscious mind has one purpose, and this is to deliver information to the subconscious mind. And the subconscious mind is everything else. That's why if you wish to improve a relationship, improve your business, quickly move up the corporate ladder at work, make more money, or change a behavior which simply does not work, you must know how the subconscious mind works. SR is based on the reality that all behavior is emotionally driven, and your emotional state originates at the core of the subconscious. In other words, your emotional state equals your behavior. How you feel about everything you do will always determine whether you move toward your objectives or not. You'll always move towards pleasure and away from pain. The key component here of any behavioral change program must be based on how an emotional state comes about, what physiological influences there may be, and how to gain control of it. Can you fix anything if you don't know how it works? Well, the answer is an emphatic no. It's a little bit like when your TV or your radio go on the blink and you bang on the top of it. And then it starts working. And you say to yourself, I guess I fixed it. Does it make any sense to guess when you're speaking in terms of the mind? Absolutely not. And if you can't answer the following question, you're just guessing. The most fundamental question for initiating any change you wish to make permanent in your life is, what determines one's emotional state and behavior? Regardless of the emotional state and behavior or habit you want to take control of or permanently change, if you cannot answer this question, you're just guessing. The answer to what determines human behavior is simply information. Can you do anything without talking to yourself and seeing a picture of what you're going to do? Well, the answer is no. That would be like trying to read a blank book. No information, no action. What are the components of this information? Well, the two components of information that determine human behavior are simply words and pictures. How do you interpret, restructure, and reprogram this information so you can permanently change the way that you feel and take control of your life? What's the biggest difference between SR and any other modality in coaching or behavioral health? The question that SR asks is, how can I fix it? As opposed to, why is it broken? The primary focus of SR is how each individual processes information from the deepest level of the subconscious mind, instead of guessing why you had a bad reaction to an external event. SR does not tell you what to do. It guides you through the process of how to take control. Will SR help me modify my behavior, manage my anger, cope with my life? Well, SR is not designed, nor does it use terms such as modify, manage, or cope. SR is designed for a complete, positive, empowered change. If one interrupts and restructures a subconscious process before it has the opportunity to wreak havoc, you don't have to manage, modify, or cope with it. Simply put, it does not make sense to attempt to manage, modify, or cope with anything which does not work. If you don't know how to take control of your subconscious mind, which in turn enables you to take control of your emotional state and behavior, it can be like riding in the backseat of a car with some maniac at the wheel going all over the road. SR will guide you through the process of how to remove the maniac currently driving and get you behind the wheel of your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. When you identify something which does not work for you, such as fear, guilt, hopelessness, anger, you simply interrupt it and restructure it until you have installed a new program that works exactly the way that you wish. Now, how are you going to do this, you might ask? In the second step of SR process, you'll put your subconscious thoughts into writing. You'll then use this information to begin interrupting and restructuring subconscious processes which simply don't work for you. The reason you must write everything down is because if you don't write it down, how are you ever going to know where you started, where you're going, or what results that you produced? This is the only way that you can track your progress. The way you feel about everything in life is determined by your individual perception. So I'd like to start by making a change in your perception. Have you ever failed at anything? Within the context of SR, there is no such thing as failure. There are only results. If you don't like the results that you're getting, you simply change what you're doing. With SR, you consistently interrupt and restructure the subconscious mind until you reprogram your emotional state and behavior to achieve the external results that you want. Until now, You've been programmed to attack the body to try to change your mind. You were made to believe someone else will take control of your behavior by simply telling you what to do while you passively sit back. This may be the most significant programming you need to overcome in order to take control of your subconscious. Permanent positive change can only occur if you are willing to find out how the subconscious mind works and then consistently use this information to take control. Do you want everything in your life to work? If the answer is yes, this is the perfect program for you. Why do we use the term objective instead of goal? Well, a goal is something that you hope to achieve. And an objective is something that you plan to achieve. In the military, we don't attack goals, we attack objectives. Within the context of functional emotional fitness, we use the term objective because we will only be working on things you plan to achieve.